Neither this gross nor this subtle universe is the Atma. Neither this gross nor this subtle universe is the Atma. Being imagined, they are not real, like the snake seen in the rope, like dreams. Perfectly eliminating the objective world in this way, by means of reasoning, one should next realize the oneness that underlies the Ishwara and the Jiva. I'll repeat for myself. Neither this gross nor this subtle universe is the Atma. Being imagined, they are not real. The gross and the subtle universe are not real, like the snake seen in the rope and like dreams. Perfectly eliminating the objective world in this way by means of reasoning, one should next realize the oneness that underlies Ishwara and Jiva. Hence, those two terms, Ishwara and Jiva, must be carefully considered through their implied meanings so that their absolute identity may be established. The method of wholesale rejection will not do, nor will the method of retaining in toto do either. One must reason out through the process which combines the two. What does Adi Shankar mean by reasoning out through the process which combines the two? Thank you. You should have rather asked which two are being talked of. What are these two? Ishwara and Jiva, what are they? The difference and the unity have to be understood. Ishwar is not truth. Ishwar is not Brahm. Ishwar is not Atma. Ishwar is the counterpart of Jiva. Jiva sees himself as incomplete and in a wretched state. Ishwar is the highest imagination of the Jiva. Ishwar is the best that the Jiva can think of. Ishwar is not Brahm. Brahm cannot be thought of. That is why Vedanta puts it very beautifully. Vedanta says, Jiva tries to think of Brahm and comes up with an Ishwar. In other words, Brahm plus Maya is Ishwar. Brahm plus Maya is Ishwar. Brahm is the one, never born, never made, never created, whereas Ishwar is created by man. Ishwar is created by man because man wants to imagine someone who created him. It's nice. Man wants to imagine his father, so he ends up imagining his father. Somebody is sitting on top of me, that is Ishwar. Ishwar is man's best version of himself, and that is why your Ishwar often looks so very man-like. Brahm is not man-like, and that is why various images of Ishwar are at divergence with each other. Because man's mind can come up with several fanciful imaginations. This is good, that is good, so this Ishwar, that Ishwar. The difference between Brahm and Ishwar is the difference between God and gods. It's good that in the English language you write God with a capital G and gods with a small g. Because the difference actually warrants a capital and a small. Are you getting it? At the mental level, what is Ishwar? At the mental level, Ishwar is a hope. Because the mind always lives in future and hope. One day, that's where I probably can be. One day, that's where I probably can be. Ishwar is the distant lighthouse. Ishwar is the beckoning beacon. Getting it? Brahm is none of that. Brahm is actually quite useless. Ishwar is very useful. Ishwar can grant you boons, shower you with goodies. What do you want? Laddu? Car? A son? What do you want? Brahma will supply you with none of that. Because he is untraceable. You can keep searching for him with your application in hand. The beggar would never be found. So you can never even pray to Brahma. All our prayers are directed towards Ishwar. And who is Ishwar? Man's own most garnished fancy. Have you seen idols, how garnished they are? And once in a while, man too wants to dress up as Ishwar. So Ram Navami, Janmashtami. Man can never dress up as Brahm, can he? Man can never dress up as Atma, but man can surely dress up as Ishwar. You must understand these things because that's what the game of life is all about. This is what is making the world go round. Man's hope, man's fancies, man's terrible sense of incompleteness. You want to have someone who is listening to you up there in the skies. He has to exist. Somebody said, if God does not exist, man must invent him. God must exist, otherwise man will go mad. And this God is not Brahma. This God in this quote is Ishwar. Man has a fantastic and terrible yearning for an Ishwar. For Brahma, man has nothing. He cannot even be thought of. Man runs after Ishwar, man runs after idols, man runs after hopes. All that is Ishwar. All that is there in the fantastic descriptions, in the deities, in the scriptures, in the fables. Brahma will never appear in your dreams. Ishwar does. You can watch some great saint come to you, or Christ come to you, or Krishna come to you. What is Adi Shankar saying here? He is saying Jiva and Ishwara are the same. It is a perfect analogy to Atma and Brahm are the same. Understand this. Impure mind is mind. Pure mind is Atma. When mind is pure, then it has no need for Ishwar. Pure mind sees everything outside as itself. That is the very characteristic of a pure mind. It stops seeing alienness. It stops expecting something from the world. With respect to an alien, you have both fear and expectation. Have you seen those sci-fi movies? How are aliens portrayed? Either as people who would harm you or would people who can help you. That's what we have with respect to the alien. The pure mind stops having any relationship with the alien. And when I say relationship, I mean a relationship of fear or expectation. And this is the only kind of relationship that is possible to a dualistic mind. If no fear is there and no expectation is there, would a relationship ever be there? Look at the world, look at the relationships, look at your own relationships. Remove fear, remove longing, remove craving, remove attachment, and remove expectation. Now tell me, can the relationship stand on anything? Nothing is left now. The pure mind stops seeing anything as alien because it has no fear or greed or expectations and no need for self-preservation. Such a pure mind then says, I and this are not separate. That is the great announcement of the Upanishads, I am Atma Brahm. The Atma itself is Brahm, which means that I do not see an alien. I and the universe are not aliens. We are one. The same thing is expressed when the scriptures say that the world is nothing but your own projection. That too means this only, that you and the world are not two or aliens. You are projecting the world. How can you and the world be separate? So for the pure mind, the world is Brahm. And there is an identity. There is a unity, one. For the impure mind, outside exist hopes. For the pure mind, outside of itself exist hopes and fears. So, in the world it sees an Ishwar. Who is the Ishwar? Who can either fulfill your hopes or destroy you. The pure mind sees Brahm outside and says, I am Brahm. Atma means me, and Brahm is the all-pervasive one. I am Brahm. The impure mind looks at the world and raises hopes. The impure mind looks at the world and gets afraid. And those hopes and fears are represented in the form of Ishwar. Now look at all your idols. Look at all your deities. They grant you boons and they also kill you. They can also curse you. From there can come both boons and banes. Is that not so? One hand is raised to bless you and the other hand is carrying a weapon. That's the impure mind relationship with the universe. The universe can bless me and the universe can also curse me or destroy me. That's how man builds up an Ishwar. Brahm carries no weapon. Brahm cannot bless you either. Have you ever heard somebody saying, "Oh great Brahm, please bless me"? It is a nonsensical statement, because if you are asking Brahma to bless you, you are assuming a duality. Brahma can bless only itself. Nothing but Brahma exists. By asking Brahma to bless you, you are negating Brahma. But you can surely ask Ishwar to bless you. Look at all those people and all the people in the temples and churches and all other places of worship, even mosques. Even though we have religions that are strictly non-dualistic, still there, the mind, the mischievous mind, builds up an image, a fantastic image of God. God is God, an image of God is Ishwar. And that is why in local parlance, in the usual conversation, in the common narrative, you hear the word Ishwar and Bhagwan but not Brahm. People would come and say, "Meri Ishwar se prarthana hai." Does anybody say Meri? Does anybody say, "Hey Brahm, mujhe bacha le"? What do people say? "Hey Bhagwan, mujhe bacha le." Brahm is not sympathetic. Brahm is not merciful. Ishwar has been designed to be merciful. Who designed Ishwar? You designed. You designed him as the omnipresent, omniscient, just, merciful, many other things. You need someone of that kind, just as you need a grandfather over your head in a patriarchal family. Don't you? And it feels safe and secure. Oh, somebody is there watching. And one can go to him. And also the fellow is old, so he won't always watch what we are doing. So when we have to do our naughty things, we have our own reserves. But if something goes terribly bad, then one can turn to the that kind of a thing is your Ishwar. And that would also explain why most images of Ishwar are masculine. Patriarchy. Man's mind has been patriarchal for so long, and therefore most of your images of Ishwar are also masculine. Not all, because women too have had some say. So you have the odd Devi here and there. If you don't have them at all, then there would be trouble in the family. She too needs some representation. Getting it? Now do you see how Jiva and Ishwara are one and Atma and Brahm are one? The Ishwar is a creation of the Jiva. So the Jiva and Ishwara are one. That's what Vedanta teaches you. Vedanta does not teach you to go and pray in front of an Ishwar. Vedanta clearly tells you that Ishwar is your own projection, that Ishwar is your own imagination. What is the point prostrating in front of such an Ishwar? Are you getting? So Pradeep Sharma had asked, what is this reasoning out? What is this thought process which shows the identity of Jiva and Ishwar? We just showed the identity of Jiva and Ishwar, Pradeep. This is the process of reasoning that we just demonstrated. There's an interesting line here. The method of wholesale rejection would not do, nor would the method of retaining in toto do either. What is the method of wholesale rejection? To just say that neither the Jiva nor Ishwar actually exist, only Brahm exists. That's a very fine thing to say, but it doesn't quite help. Because who is the one for whom the scriptures have been written, and who is the one who is reading? The one who is suffering. And he does exist. Otherwise, this whole process is meaningless. If the suffering mind does not exist at all, why are the scriptures being taught? So the method of wholesale rejection is not useful. At the same time, you cannot take suffering as necessary or as scripted or destined. One has to say suffering is there but need not be there. Both the statements have to be said in the same breath. And then there is the possibility of liberation. Yes, I am the suffering one, but suffering is not my nature or destiny. Both these statements have to be parallelly said. There are some who say, I am not suffering at all. To them I say, kindly go away. If you don't experience any suffering, then there is no point sitting here. There are some who say, I am suffering and there is no way out. Suffering cannot come to an end. To them too, I say, kindly go away. Who are the right recipients of the message of the scriptures? Those who say, yes, we are suffering, but we also know that all this is just for a while. We have deep faith that this suffering is transient. To them I say, come and come close. Getting it? So, both these classes will not work. The ones who totally deny the fact of suffering, and those who have given in to the fact of suffering. Something else works. That's what Adi Shankar is talking of. Right?